Hey, 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 hey. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Hope you're doing well, and wanted to thank all y'all for all the great messages for the Facebook Lives that we've been putting out. And today wanted to share somebody told me many years ago, one of the things that you're really good at, Dave, is telling stories. So I thought I'd share another story today. And thank you for joining us. And as you jump on the live, feel free to comment in the section how your day is going. I know we're getting close to the holiday, so happy holidays to everybody, and looking forward to an incredible weekend. And so today's title is the 3 success tips my father shared with me that helped me to get paid to play. And yes, this little Latino got paid to play professional basketball, not in the United States. Had to go across the world, down under to Australia. Aussie, 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 oi, 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 to all my Australian brothers and sisters. I love y'all. It was an amazing experience. But I want to share kind of how that process happened and these 3 success tips. What's up, Ron, my man? Great talking with you yesterday. Thank you for the great conversation and also the walk down memory lane as well, Ron. So, and today so I'll give you a little background. And when I was living in New York as a kid, I didn't do very good in school, but I excelled in sports, and so I played soccer and excelled in soccer. Made some national teams and was doing really well, and I loved playing soccer. And when we moved to California, when I was around 10 years old, still played soccer with club teams, but then I was getting ready to go into high school. And my high school team didn't have a soccer team. So the high school that I was going to didn't have a soccer team. And so I was bummed because athletics was my jam, is what I love to do. And so I remember my buddy, a good buddy, my best friend in elementary, actually junior high school, he was telling me that he was trying out for the basketball team. And I'd never really played basketball. I mean, I bounced the ball and shot it around, but I'd never played official basketball. And he says, hey, would you mind coming to support me? We got tryouts after school every day for this whole week. And then everybody tries out. And at the end, they choose who actually makes the team. And so I decided, okay, yeah, I'll go support you. So I went one day to watch him. I think it was like 2 or 3 days into the tryouts for the high school freshman team. And I was sitting in the stands watching him, and they were doing drills and everything. And the coach sees me up in the stands and notices that I was of the same age. And he says, hey, why don't you come down and try out with us? And I'm looked at him like, well, no, I don't play basketball. He goes, come on. And he had so much certainty. I'm like, okay, I'll just go down there and give it a try. So I was doing the drills and everything. And at the time, I could dribble with my right hand and I can do layups, but I couldn't dribble with my left hand. And so they were doing drills, dribbling and shooting. And when I would do the drills with my left hand and try to do a layup with my left hand, I mean, I was horrible. My skills were so bad. And then they started doing what they call line drills. And line drills is when you actually run and you do running back and forth. And it's basically to see your athletic ability and how much endurance you have. And when we did line drills, because I was in such good condition from playing soccer, I smoked everybody. And I was hustling, diving for balls, working really hard, because my dad always taught me, if you do something, just go all in and make sure you play hard. And so hustle was something, and I was really good at defense as well. My other skills were horrible. I was probably the worst player on the court. And so after I decided to go back the next day. And I only tried out for like 2 of the, I think, 5 days that they had there. And at the end, they had the names on the list of who actually made the team. And everybody was excited to go to see whose name was on the list. And man, it was the craziest thing, because my name was on the list. And my buddy who invited me, his name was not on the list. Later, come to find out that the only reason the coach actually put me on the list was because I hustled so much and I was in such good shape and worked really hard on the drills that I would force everybody else to work harder. So he thought I'd be a valuable asset, not necessarily in the games, but in practice. And so that summer, I was able to play in the summer league. And I'm proud to say I was a bench sitter. I sat on the bench the entire summer league. And the only time I ever went in was when we were either up by 20 or down by 20. if you play basketball, how many play sports? If you ever played sports in your life, do me a favor, put in a comment feature, what sports did you play? And so that was the thing. I didn't play, and I was so angry. And I'm the type of person that I'm not a spectator. I don't like sitting on the bench. I like being in the game. I like participating. And so that gave me so much fire and hunger that I decided that I was going to do something about it. And as a matter of fact, I remember, just to backtrack a little bit, because I was playing soccer so much and not necessarily basketball, there was a coach in junior high that he was a really good coach. And I looked up to him because he knew a lot about athletics and everything like that. And I was talking to him about I was going to go try out for the basketball team. And he told me, you might want to try out for something else, maybe a different sport, because you're not necessarily a basketball player. You might want to consider track and field or some other type of sport. And when he said that to me, it was just like it crushed my soul, because at that time, I remember the Lakers and the Knicks were playing, and I watched the basketball game. And the basketball game was these NBA players, the stands, the fans, everybody, and the way they were playing, it just got me so excited that one day I said, "Man, how cool would it be to be able to play one day?" And I remember watching. Magic Johnson was my favorite player. How he would dish the ball and how the crowd would react when he would do something so amazing, and how the team worked together and the synergy that they had at the highest level. And I thought, man, imagine being able to do that one day. So a dream of playing professional basketball was planted as I was watching those playoff championship games. But like many of us, when a seed is planted, do we cultivate it, or we just have a glimpse of it and then just let it go? Because then what starts to happen? We start to think about, well, how are we going to achieve that? How are we going to be able to accomplish that? And so, but that was a dream that I had, man, one day to play professional sports. And so when the coach told me, you might want to think about playing a different sport, it crushed me. And I went home, and my dad could tell that I was not in good spirits, and I was very down. And I'll never forget, he took me aside and started having a conversation with me and asking me some questions. He was like, "Son, what's up?" I could tell something's wrong. And I was like, "Dad, I watched this basketball game, and I really want to play basketball and one day maybe make it to the highest level." But the coach that was a junior high coach, he told me that maybe I should try a different sport. And my dad looked at me, and I'll never forget it. He said, "Son, let me ask you a question." He goes, "What I'm going to share with you right now, I want you to pay full attention to me." Because my dad, believe it or not, I'll share his story another day, but where he was to what he accomplished, only it truly is a miracle. And so he shared with me, he said, "Son, do you really want to play basketball? Do you really want to be great at playing basketball?" And I said, "Yeah, Dad, I really do." And what he was sharing with me was, step one is, in anything that you want to succeed in, step one is you got to have a desire. You got to have that as a target. If you want to be financially successful, and that's not something that you have written down as a goal or a target, might you become financially free or a millionaire, whatever it is that you want on the financial side? Maybe, but chances are maybe you win the lottery, and that's the way of doing it. But by winning the lottery, most people end up losing it within 3 years because they didn't earn it. They didn't feel like they earned it. So they didn't feel like they deserve it. So they squandered it away. So he said, number one is, do you really want it? And I said, "Yes, Dad, that's what I want." Awesome. Step number one, move to the next step. What's something that maybe you want to achieve, a goal that you've had, a dream that you've had, that maybe you want to dust off and bring it out of the closet and bring it into today? And then he said, step number two, do you believe you can be a great basketball player? Do you believe you can get paid to play one day? And at the time, I'm like, well, if the coach doesn't believe it, and this is somebody that I respect, how many times do we hear people that maybe we respect that indirectly or directly shoot down our dreams? And sometimes we call them dream stealers. Let me just share with you, nobody can steal your dream. You can give up a dream. But at the time, I didn't know that. So he said, "Do you believe?" And I said, "Dad, I don't know. I don't know what it takes." He goes, "Son, it doesn't matter. Do you believe?" And the way he said it with so much certainty, I said, "Yes, Dad, I want to believe." He says, "Listen, son, there's a moment in time where you're going to be going through this process of playing and learning a new sport. And there might be some times where you lose belief. And he said, you are my son. You are a Uloa. And I'm going to tell you right now, if and when you ever lose belief, just know that I will always believe in you. Man, I don't know about you guys, but I love hanging around people that believe in each other. There's way too many negative Nellies and negative Nelsons out there that are constantly telling us why that won't work, or why we shouldn't do this, or why we shouldn't try that. I like to consider myself a healthy risk taker. So he said, step number one, do you want, do you have desire? Step number two, do you believe that you can do it? I said, yes, Dad, I do. He said, step number three is going to be the hardest. You have to take massive action. He said, right now, all these kids that are playing, they've been playing for years. You've been playing a different sport. So you're going to need to collapse timeframes. You're going to need to spend hours and hours learning from the people that know more than you in order to get good faster. So when he said that, I thought to myself, okay, well, I believe that massive action. What does that look like? So at the time, I was still a young kid. I didn't know anything, but there was a park that was about 5 miles from my house, and my mom and dad both worked. So during the summer, after summer, this was right before we started school, I remember not even having a bike, that I would literally figure, okay, I got to collapse time frames. I got to practice as much as possible. So I would dribble the ball with my right hand all the way to the gym. It was called McCambridge Park there in Burbank, California. And when I got there, I would just constantly play. Now, at the time, I was too young to play with the adults, so I had to play on the other side, and I was just practicing drills. When I would finish, play about 6 to 8 hours there, I would dribble the ball all the way 5 miles with my left hand all the way back home. And I would do this every day, 8 hours a day, practicing basketball. And after I started building a little confidence, I would go and want to play with the older people. And as I would play with the older people, the lady that would be running the whole gym would yell at me and kick me off. Uloa, get out of there. You're too young to play with the older folks. And so I remember also asking the people that I saw that were really good, asking them for tips, asking them, how do you shoot the ball? How do you hold the ball? How do you dribble? What do you do in this situation? And all I was doing was learning. I would watch NBA games, and I watch some players that I want to model and start modeling them when I would go to practice on different things that they were doing and how I would see them play. So for 8 hours a day, I was refining my craft. When I'd be at home watching television, I would lay down on my back and I would have a basketball and I would shoot. And I would know if the ball came straight back, it was in. If it went left, it went right, it was a miss. So I would practice over and over and over and over again for 8 hours. That year that I came back after those weeks and weeks of 8 hours a day, I remember the coaches were shocked because I was on the freshman team getting ready to go onto the sophomore team. And the coaches saw that something shifted and I actually got a lot better. And my sophomore year, I was very honored. Thank you, Coach Kohlmeyer, for trusting me, for having faith in me, for a little Latino kid that had long hair and shoes that were falling apart, for giving me a shot. And he gave me a call and said, hey, we want to bring you up to the varsity team. I'm a sophomore. I'd barely been playing basketball for a year, and he puts me up onto the varsity team as the starting point guard. And I'll share that first story another time. But from that experience, I realized, man, maybe I could get good at this. Played high school basketball. My goal was to play pro one day. People laughed at me saying, yeah, you're a good high school player. You made all CIF and all this in high school, but the college level takes a whole nother level. And so you got the naysayers that started kicking in. Luckily, I was able to get a scholarship and played at California Lutheran University. Was able to get some grants and scholarships to play there for 4 years. The Kingsmen, love the Kingsmen. Coach Dunlap, another person that took a chance on me. And I was able to go to a small private school. I was actually recruited to go to some Division I schools, and that's where I wanted to go. But my dad wanted me to get a degree. And when he talked to Coach Dunlap, and Coach Dunlap said that their athletes were graduating at 98%, and Long Beach State only had 18% graduation rate for their athletes. My dad said, sign here. And that's how I ended up at going to Cal Lutheran University. Played there for 4 years, met some amazing team members. And again, my whole goal, 8 hours a day, playing basketball. I went to school on the side. I played basketball most of the time. And I'm getting ready to play. I'm playing pro ball. People are like, well, you're graduating with a degree. What are you going to do after? I'm like, I'm playing pro ball. I'm playing pro ball. And they were like, Dave, there's no scouts looking at you. You're not going to the NBA. You know what are you talking about? You're going to play pro ball. But again, I go back to what my dad said. My dad said, number one, you got to have the desire. The desire was there, and I was showing up every day for practice. I would even show up hours before. Me and my boy Mark Harma, we would do sprints with the strength shoes in the morning to increase our speed and our hops. And then we would practice. And then at night we would do the gym and get our weight training on. And so literally for me, it was 6 to 8 hours of basketball. And because my outcome, my goal was to play professional basketball one day, but everybody laughed at me. But I believed that I could. I believed that there was something, that some team, somebody that was out there. And so now I'm getting ready to graduate. Everybody's telling me I'm crazy. I'm going to play pro ball. But thank God again, through some amazing people. Thank you, Mr. Steve De La Viaga, who was playing professional basketball in Australia. And he was also a scout, and he was also a manager and an agent. And he connected with some people from our school because he was a graduate from our school. And he was helping an expansion team in Australia, unbeknownst to me, that was expanding. And he was helping them to expand. And they needed a leader. They needed a point guard. And Steve had heard about me and asked me to send over some tapes. I sent over some tapes, and now I'm graduated. And there was this window of time after college where a couple of weeks we went back and forth. The next thing I know, he sends me a contract to play pro ball in Australia for a 5-year contract. I mean, when I think about it, I look back, to me, it's just amazing. And I give all praise to the glory of God. All praise goes to him. All credit goes to him. My dad was just the vessel to share some of the strategies on how to do that, but all praise goes to him. And I remember playing that first game. And after that first game, we got the stands, we're playing, we end up winning the game. And the first person that I decided to call was my father. The first person I decided to call after the game was my dad. And all I could say to him when I called him, I said, Dad, we did it. We did it. I didn't do it. We did it. And it was because of you believing in me when I was 13 years old that we made it happen. So I don't know where you are right now or what maybe goals or dreams that God's planted in your heart that maybe you need to bring back. But those 3 success tips have not just allowed me to play pro ball, but I've applied those tips into business, into any career, to any business that you've had, even my relationship. I've applied those success tips. So for those of you that want to stay connected to people that are warriors and queens like Yvette and I, we're all about championing relationships and bringing the best out of people. Feel free to reach out, send me a private message or hashtag warriors and queens in the comment section. We'll add you to our newsletter. We're building an amazing community around the world of like-minded people that inspire and empower each other. So appreciate you guys, and we'll see you soon.